So how do we get started using AI in the workplace? It's pretty confusing, all the different offers. I was at a show last year. It was a presentation from a group called Entre Connect, like entrepreneur and connection together, Entre Connect. They put on shows in the peninsula and in San Francisco. And it's usually 4 or 5 speakers, and they get a crowd of about 200 or 300 people. They're actually doing very well. And a year ago, these guys whose business it was to clean up databases so they could be interpreted by AI said in January 2025, if anyone tells you they figured out how to take a dirty database and clean it up with AI for use with CRM, for customer relationship management tools, they are lying. No one has figured that out yet. Maybe in 2026, there's a lot more progress. But the original business case put to senior management was, let us work with your database, your customer database, and turn it into promotions. It was a growth strategy. The growth strategy requires an efficiency strategy to back it up. And what's the greatest thing you could do to learn an efficiency strategy? Take spreadsheets that you get from smart sheets or different systems where you can export the data into a spreadsheet, put them into a simple Copilot agent, and then run queries and have it format the answers for you in a usable format for email or slides. There's some cases where I have to go to 2 or 3 different spreadsheets to get all the information I need. I'm going to learn how to get Copilot to do that for me by uploading the spreadsheets into an agent and then training it how to find data in different cells in the different spreadsheets to put them together so I can have a story or a quick example for an email or a slide. I often get emails that say, for this SKU with no description and no other context, what is the end of manufacturing and end of sale date? Well, I have that in a spreadsheet. So I take 15 minutes to dig up the spreadsheet and sort it and then format the spreadsheet so I can screen capture the cells I need to answer the email. Well, if I have that in an agent, I could just copy and paste the email into the agent and let it give me the answer. And this is the human in the loop part of this. Yes, you would logically conclude, why can't I just have the agent do it for me? Because I don't know right now if the agent's going to send back garbage. So at least I want to see what the answer is from the agent before I send it to another person. If I start getting reliable answers 99% or more of the time, then I could automate it further where the email comes into the agent and is automatically answered with a caption below with a disclaimer saying this is accurate more than 95 times, or like the old Gallup polls would say 19 times out of 20. So people know they need to check the data to make absolutely sure, but this is the best way I can give you a quick answer. Because sometimes I get these lousy questions. I don't get to them for a day or two because I got other stuff going on. And if they're going to turn it into work, extra work to answer their question, I'm not in a big hurry to help them, unless it's a customer emergency. But if this is all internal stuff, they can just wait. Or they could phrase their question with a little more context. How about a description? My God, what an experience that would be. Why can't they look up the description themselves and then send me the SKU with the description, then I can answer them more quickly? But they're going to send me the SKU by itself. It's just the way they work. I accept that. And they need to accept it takes a while longer to answer them if they do that. Well, maybe if I had the agent helping me, it wouldn't be that much work after all, would it? It'd be some work to train the agent. So what I'm getting at here is there is a problem with large customer databases that they're full of dirty data because there's been people managing them and it's evolved in a partial documented experience and partially an undocumented tribal knowledge experience. And these people are the glue that holds us together. You can't just replace these people with an AI agent because people have a way of thinking that hasn't been captured by systems yet. And that could be a lifetime away for all we know. There's a lot of lying going on with the speculation. There's a lot of money pressure to come up with stuff quickly that's not possible right now. And I think it's going to hit a wall where they've done as much as they can with the current technology, and it's going to take another generation to get the next breakthrough. Anyway, that's just my speculation. How do you get $1 trillion out of productivity out of AI tools you just developed over the last 5 years, yeah, you can lay off 10 million people and say you've achieved it. The people left over are going to be miserable and suffering because the tools can't perform like the people they replaced. And replacement in quotation marks. Anyway, what can you do? Take a situation where you routinely export spreadsheets from databases. They can be small databases of 1,500 lines or 3,000 lines, and put them into a Copilot agent. If you don't know how to work a Copilot agent, there are plenty of YouTube videos that'll tell you how to do that. It's not that hard to learn. It is a bit of work to get it right. And the way you get it right is by framing your spreadsheet so the agent can answer the question quickly. It needs some help. It's like a child. It's almost like asking a person in a wheelchair to sweep the stairs. It can be done with the right machinery, but the person in the wheelchair would need the right machinery to do that properly. In the same way, the AI agent needs the right construct, setup, and language in the spreadsheet to answer the questions quickly, efficiently, and accurately. And that's the hardest part, is the accuracy, because a lot of these tools have been trained to give an answer, not necessarily the right answer, not necessarily an answer that exists in anywhere except for the AI's hallucination. So be very careful, but a simple thing to do: take some spreadsheets, put them into an agent, and stop filtering your spreadsheets. Start making the agent filter the spreadsheets for you and become the front end for those spreadsheets.